Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Players Connecting screen. I'm
Yep.
Anani. With me here today is Randy, and no
Hello.
Ocelot.
No,
I talked over your intro, so nobody even knows what you sound like.
that's very sad.
So today we're taking a
I've
look.
finally actually loaded into the game. There we go.
Eh? What happened?
What did happen?
This server failed to Hmm. Everybody everybody has disconnected. This is odd.
That is pretty odd.
What happened?
Go ahead and...
I'm getting... It restarted in some way. They were blaming me for it.
Yeah, they are.
It was very strange. Okay,
That
there
was
we
actually...
go.
Okay.
Alright, we're
Hello.
actually in now. Hello and
Yeah.
welcome back to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 12. This is Week 3. Today we're looking at Nagaz with Attitudez versus Panic at the Rosh Pit. And we were supposed to be looking at Nagaz versus Panic at the Rosh Pit, but that weird thing just happened. That's very interesting. And yeah, as I said, with us here is Randy. That's going to be a very interesting thing to see at the top of the YouTube recording.
Certainly. It happens, you know. It's live television.
Yeah. A bonus for you this week. First band's coming out here. We got Warlock, we got the Slardar, and we got the Brewmaster and Jug in response.
Yep.
Could be seeing a bit of respect banning going on here. We have seen Comrade Chris.
Warlock. Yep.
Comrade Chris been playing some Warlock. Just seeing Banana Stand do a little Slardar work.
The mid Viper again. Alright, run it back.
Yep, Naga's having come off some success with the mid Viper in the last round. Trash him right here, right now, once again. Putting almost some pressure on Trashboat there.
Yep.
Now, I don't mean to be a biased commentator, but I have heard from a very reliable source that Nagaz with Attitudez is going to be putting a lot of focus on Trashboat in particular this game.
Yep.
So to that end, putting out that Viper first is going to make him, you know, it's kind of a soft ban for a lot of heroes. It's kind of saying, listen, Trashboat, you can pick, you know, this, that, or the other. You can't bring these guys or Viper's just going to eat you.
Yep.
5 seconds remaining.
I believe we are also now actually live. Well, not live. We're on the 2-minute delay. On Twitch, there's also that. Luna coming out.
First phase Luna with the Disruptor. It's a pretty daunting combo.
Oh yeah. If you get put into the arena and a glimpse comes in, it's really not going to be a good day for you. And later on in the game, she's not even going to need the Eclipse. You could just have that arena up and it's nasty stuff.
Into it.
But on the other hand, that is a very early Luna, and despite what some people believe, there are definitely counters in this game to Luna. Here's a problem that can be solved. And I will say, having Dark Seer on your lineup is a very good way to do it, from my perspective.
It's pretty deadly illusions.
Right. Can turn her illusions around on her. Can make it very difficult for her to get off the ground, to get a good start early on in the game. We got the Death Prophet coming in. Well, going out, rather. No anti-mage is what Panic says in response.
Alright.
You might instantly think that's no Medusas here. It's not actually necessarily a guarantee. The Spear Breaker going down for Panic at the Rosh Pit. OD going down for Nagaz. Coming out very quick with these picks. I mean, it's no surprise. This game did get delayed just a little bit, if you couldn't tell by the fact that we started a little late. So it is
10
They did
seconds
have some
remaining.
time before the game to think this through just a little bit.
5
Right.
seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Alright, no ogre. Omnipresent.
No ogre, not ever. Much of a surprise to see the ogre ban there, considering he's
Oh.
just been all over the place. They still do need another support. And you don't want to see
10
Ogre
seconds
Magi with
remaining.
Luna. Ogre Magi being able to buff that Luna, it's nasty business,
5
man.
seconds remaining.
Hey, we can't discount the possibility of a 4 Luna.
That's true. I mean, you should, but you can't
Yeah.
necessarily.
See, you better hope it's a 1 Luna now, because you're gonna look super rude if it is. Or if it is not, even.
Dire team pick.
Hey, I didn't poo-poo the possibility of like a 2 Luna or
Oh,
something.
sure.
I just poo-pooed the possibility of one specific way they could lane her. No Ricky, says Panic at the Rosh pit. Which is interesting. I do think Ricky ban has a little bit of meaning to it. Oracle coming up.
Okay, so there you go, Luna's a core.
Yeah. Oracle is very good at just making Luna, in particular, presumably, a lot harder to kill. It's going to give them some ability to do a lot of tower
10
damage when
seconds
the
remaining.
boys just aren't around.
Yep.
5 seconds remaining.
You know, even if Luna ultimately dies, if she gets a base full of crap down in the time of that false promise, you know, that's still a major, major, major loss
Yeah.
for you.
Alright, let's see.
Taking some time here. That Oracle pick actually has put a lot of
Yep.
bit of a spanner into the works here for Naga's draft so far. Which isn't surprising. Oracle can change a lot very quickly.
Yep.
He can have a very profound impact on the game. You know, it's easy to think of Oracle as just false promise, but there is actually quite a few tricks he has up his sleeve.
I don't know all the specific purge interactions, but if he's able to purge Viper Strike, or maybe even like Ion Shells.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
going to be a very mana-intensive job to try and do that. Naga's actually running the clock here, running with their,
Radiant
Oh, there we
team
go.
pick.
Alright. Certainly a decent enough matchup against Luna.
Yep. Also, somebody who doesn't really care about what Oracle's doing to him outside of the, outside of the disarm.
10 seconds remaining.
He is very clearly going to have to get as early of a BKB as possible, which is never the most ideal situation for Ursa to be in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Luckily, one thing that he does have going on with him here is that Darkseer is a hero who's going to be able to build some more defensive items to support him.
Dire team pick.
For sure. There's the,
Jakiro. See,
the
Bajiji
patient
is
hero.
local stream mob Bajiji missing out on favorite hero here.
I think there's not saying much.
Right.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I do like that Jakiro on Nagaz.
Yeah, Jakiro being able to just disrupt an area is going to have a lot to do with the success in this game. Centaur
Another
Warrunner
Centaur.
coming up.
Seen a lot of that guy.
Oh yeah,
Dire team ban.
he's a good counterpart to Ursa here. Ursa really has a tough time dealing with Centaur. He just kind of
Yep.
beats the crap out of himself trying to kill him.
Right.
Radiant team ban.
It's
Oh,
just
Enigma,
another reason
alright.
he needs a quick BKB. No Enigma. That's interesting. Yeah, an Enigma here would be really rotten. When he gets that, I think it's his shard that makes the black hole actually work like a black hole.
Yeah.
When he gets that, I think you could theoretically circle around and hit the wall multiple times, like the Darkseer wall multiple times on your spiral through. That would be a really nasty fate.
There is also vacuum, which is the classic black hole combination.
Yep.
You know? Pretty much guaranteed to get one if you time it properly on at least 3 or 4.
True.
Radiant team pick.
And you have Jakiro and Viper who can effectively, between the two of them, point guard another guy off.
Yep.
I'll tell you what I would do. The guy who usually makes the wacky call here is not with us today, so I tell you what I would do here, right? Gotham seems to like himself some unconventional pause 4s. I think a pause 4 Mars would actually do him a lot of good here.
Right.
Most people don't like to play Mars in that position, and he does need to be a little greedier than his ideal for a pause 4.
Yeah, for sure.
But that arena in a game like this, you really could not argue with it, I don't think.
See if Gotham argues with it.
I guess one thing I'll also mention on the Enigma ban, it's also not a bad idea considering that we've already seen Gotham playing Enigma in this tournament.
Oh, techies. Alright. Alright.
You got the techies. You got the techies, baby. First techies of the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
That is going to make a lot of jobs really harder for the Dire. It's going to make it a lot harder for Luna to safely, casually push things. It's going to make it a lot harder to actually get out when the Centaur ult happens.
Yep.
You know, what good is false promise if you're just stepping on Legos on your way out, right?
Yeah.
I actually like the techies pick here. The one downside is that even with the techies, I don't really think they necessarily win the long. So he's not going to be able to get that much use out of his main job, which is to delay as much as possible.
Yeah. Alright, a Gotham techies. Gonna be a good one.
He's got a very interesting set. He's got like the weird Safari techie set or something going on.
Yeah.
Paige is bringing a rare Jakiro set to this tournament.
Yep.
And Luke's just looks like his his Darkseer has having some troubles. Oh, and Boss is just Sub-Zero.
For sure.
I really
yeah.
like that set. How come we had to get rid of Skeleton Gang because of copyright infringement? We have to call Windrunner Road Ranger now, but that gets to be in the game. We also have this very Lichy Oracle again as well, so I can't wait to accidentally miscall him a couple of times like I did in the last game when we had this set.
Alrighty, it's strategy time. Awkwardly long as usual.
It's a good opportunity to think about this one. I can tell you this one, as I was saying earlier, right? Even with the techies being able to prolong the game, it's not going to do him much avail here. I think if this game goes long, the longer it goes on, the more it tilts to panic.
Yep.
There's not a doomsday clock quite per se, and I will say Ursa does theoretically scale about as well as, I'm doing a lot of pinging and drawing, theoretically at least scales about as well as Luna does. But the only downside is he personally does not have a very easy time dealing with Luna. He doesn't really have a very easy time dealing with a lot of these sort of ranged pause ones.
Is that a Grandmaster techies? I don't recognize these Dota Plus logos off the top of my head.
I don't know.
It's quite a high level techies, either way.
That's true. I guess we'll see it after the game.
Yeah.
But first,
After
we must wait.
Oh crap! Fun!
It is pretty fun.
I'm glad we get to hear allied voice clips as a caster.
Let the smoke
I tried to press
my
Y to
God.
access my my chat wheel, but it opened up the network charts. It's very sad.
I'll open up the last hits charts. Why not? Oh, we have a message from Bajiji. It says
Oh.
Jakiro.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Bajiji. Jeez.
I think Disruptor is either Grandmaster or whatever that logo is as well. Get some
Yeah.
experienced players in these heroes.
It's true. One thing you notice about the LD2L is that it seems like most of the people, they tend to have a very narrow sort of roster of heroes, right? And that sounds like a dig on the outset. I mean, this is the Learn Dota 2 League, though, so it's not that bad, even in the worst situation, but it tends to be that rather than being, like, okay at a lot of heroes, it's, these people try to focus
30
on being
seconds
as
to
good as possible with
Yep.
a small set.
Which is
And
fair. You know.
when you're learning Dota 2, as you would in the LD2L.GG, it's not that bad of an idea, I don't think.
Plenty of posturing here.
Pang, pang. Load of pangs. They're really looking for doing something here. Techi's actually got blast off level 1.
That's the typical build, I think.
Oh, found Trash Boat. Immediately started doing the blast off animation and canceled it just to make
Yeah.
Trash Boat sweat.
The head games, yeah.
Luna decided to go ahead and block here rather than taking any part in these shenanigans.
Yep.
Alright, let's do some fun player calls. On Nagaz with Attitude. Position 1, we have Manifest Destiny currently playing that Ursa all alone in his lane. How sad for him.
And Techi's just gonna mine up this top lane, I would guess.
Position
Maybe try to get
2.
home in.
Position 2, for the third time this game, we have Didge. He can't mine because he's level 1. Position 2, we have Didge playing Viper once again.
Denied.
Pause 3, we've got Luke's, one of your favorite recon tanks out here on the Dark
I'm just
Sphere.
gonna rotate the Jakiro out.
Position 4, we got Gotham, currently on Techies. And pause 5, we have Pages, who is playing Jakiro. On the other side of the equation, pause 1, we've got Niatic playing on that Luna. We've got pause 2, Trash Boat, former winner at this very tournament. Gotham actually as well.
That's
In
nothing,
fact,
yeah.
not only are Gotham and Trash Boat both former winners of these tournaments, they both won on the same team. That's a fun little fact for you
True.
right there. A little bit of intrigue in this game. Pause 3, we have the Banana Stand, who is one of the other commentators on this very tournament on the Centaur Warrunner. Position 4, we have Boss, captain of the team, as a Disruptor. And Pause 4 captains actually both sides. And
Yep.
finally, position 5, we have Comrade Chris as
Radiant's top
Oracle
tower
here.
is under attack.
Techi's just gonna farm up this little pull here.
Yeah, you can
Try to.
already see just from how this lane looks, how it goes with the eye test. It's really a hassle for Luna to do much here.
Yep.
Whenever
That easy
Oracle,
camp got blocked out too, so.
yep, whenever Oracle isn't personally present, Techies and Darkseer, that combination can do a lot of damage to you, both over time and very quickly, depending on how they want to go about it. Basically.
Gotham.
Oh my God.
Running. Just
That's
dealing all that
nasty.
HP. Yeah.
Yeah, I used a creep to with him somehow to make sure she couldn't take much of that, or he didn't take much of that tower block. She has to pop all the region in the world. Had to pop a Sev and Tangos there.
Right.
So far, of all people, the top of the charts as far as last hit goes, actually not Comrade Chris, the Banana Stand off here in the off lane for the Dire.
Yep.
Man, this is risky Dota, man.
It is a bit,
Oh, baby.
isn't it?
Didn't even have the Ion Shell on himself there. He just kind of casually took a tour of what it looked like under that tower.
It's not necessarily the most offensive lane until maybe Luna hits 6.
Right.
If he chooses to go the Eclipse build at 6, which is not
Yep.
necessarily guaranteed.
Gotham coming in, saying greetings to his old pal Trash Boat.
Yep.
Nothing more to do than that. Just, I suppose, making absolute sure Lena can't turn around and kill Viper quite so easily. Putting some mines down here as well. Maybe. Looked
Some
like he was putting
stacks.
some mines down here.
Just gonna.
Notably,
Look
despite
around.
leveling proximity mines, I don't believe there's actually one on the field anywhere yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Looks taking some punishment here. I think they realized that Techies is out of town by this point. He's just not coming back anytime soon. More pressure on Trash Boat here. Both Peaches and Gotham are
Pick up a
trying to
stack
make it
here.
hard. Here comes Disruptor to try and get a little done here. Viper's actually at the top of the charts now for the last hits.
Oh,
Yep.
you're hot.
This is some very unconventional strategy. As I said, focus right now very largely on Trash Boat. They're going to be pulling whatever punches they need to do. They needed to be doing whatever they need to be doing to get rid of the guy. Though I do think maybe a little unduly underrating the attic up here.
Potentially.
Yeah, never want to sleep on Luna. The worst mistake you can make maybe in this whole game is sleeping on Luna.
Yep.
Not necessarily going to be the case in this game, but
I mean, when you pick a Techies, you kind of have to be rotating
right.
just to make the most out of your hero, and he's, you know, getting those stacks up for whoever wishes to take them.
Manifest Destiny has been largely solo down here in his safe lane. He's actually level 5, though he's second lowest, or third lowest actually, for the last hits among the chorus. So I guess you could say, in other words, he's 4th place. Viper doing Lena's camp over here.
Yep.
And you're just not even home, having to walk back. I assume... No, it did not actually get Viper struck. Viper is not 6 yet.
Looks like Darkseer's gonna take up those stacks, maybe. Just beat him up a little bit at least.
Yep.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Got a glyph for the Dire here. I'm not really sure why.
Yep.
Can't really tell. It's a very crazy game so far. It's hard to keep my attention on any specific lane because doing some interesting plays here all around. Lena and
Pretty wild.
Viper now actually matched for level. Lena actually has the mana needed for ult, which means that Viper
just gonna
can't
Viper
really
strike
pursue
there.
this.
It's pretty low.
He's found a double damage. Here comes Techies!
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
but barely, just barely. That had to be double digits.
Oh, yeah.
Just barely. Lena survives. Lena
Look at
thinks
the
about,
danger.
oh! First blood on Gotham.
Oh, nice.
Blood.
Alright,
Enemy
very
has
good.
vision. I'm not sure. I think that ward might have given him vision. I'm not 100% sure, though.
Think so, just barely over the
Should.
edge.
It should. Nothing logically stopping it, though. In some iterations of the map, that has blocked ward range, so...
Dire's
Still,
middle tower is under
first
attack.
blood to Trash Boat. They're trying very hard to make sure that didn't happen. Luckily, at the very least, the first blood was on Gotham rather than Viper, who now gets to enjoy some casual farming. Looks like Oracle trying to stack up the jungle here a bit. Never a bad idea to do when Luna's on your lineup and she's not really under any pressure. Can tell you this much, I think a very big strategy for Gotham here. He's definitely going to want to mine up this jungle as much as possible. It doesn't really matter how stacked up these camps go if Luna is afraid to even walk in there due to potentially taking so much damage.
Right.
It's also going to force, logically, Comrade Chris to waste a lot of time playing Minesweeper in there as well, just to make sure she can do it without being impeded. So far, even though Panic got the first blood, the XP, or the gold advantage, is firmly with the Radiant. It's been 1k, only 1k, but it's been that 1k advantage with them basically since the lane started. And they are
Ursa's turned around his lane a bit.
Though Luna is now looking at a completely unoccupied lane, realized it very quickly, and is now just very freely going for it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think this is a bit of that shoutouts to a phone. I think this is almost a little bit of this traumatic fixation on Trash Boat here. 4
Radiant's
people
top
have showed
tower
up
is
just to
under
make things
attack.
hard for her.
Yep.
Left Luna largely to her own devices up there.
Oh, yeah.
She's actually ascended to the top of the charts for last hits. Viper found and got rid of the sentry ward that cost his friend his life. Or the observer, rather, that cost his friend his life.
And we'll do
Yep.
just fine, Jakiro.
I'm glad we got to hear Techie say that from the other side of the map. Centaur Warner has his Vanguard already, which is sort of big news for him, but oh man, this whole little matchup is crazy here. Everybody in the world trying to get boss, trying to TP, but does not quite make it out.
Yep, the Techie's auto attack kill. Love to see it.
Yeah, not the most ideal kill in the world for Techies, but it's the kill he got.
Oh.
Just a further cementing his advantage early on. They're not really going to be able to kill Centaur. He has so much regen and HP from that Vanguard
too
already.
low.
Attack.
He did have to pop ult for that to not much avail, so that was good. Finding some jungle items here. Got a chipped vest already, in fact. Always a big item to have. It's going to make dealing with the Centaur a little nicer for Ursa, at the very least. You know, having a little of the return in return isn't quite as good as having the real return, but it's something to make him think twice about casually dropping double edge on you, for example.
Yep.
Luna farming up these stacks here, making a lot of money in a very short time period.
Got that Mask Command, it's just doubles the farm rate.
Yep. Making about $1 million is shot to the top of the net worth charts here as well, even with the Aeon Ursa there.
Yep.
2 pig poles at the exact same time because pig pole is in every game.
It sure is. It's a global sound too, so we'll get to hear some nice pigs.
Yep.
Today.
A lot of pigs. Well, I mean, assuming they're using the active anyway.
Yeah.
Centaur finds a mine, does not want to step on the Lego.
we
Gigi
got-
asked, where's Ocelot? Unfortunately, he died in a house fire.
Yeah, it's very sad. Sure, he'll be recovered from that soon.
Someday. Disruptor playing Minesweeper in the jungle here. Ursa actually going for a
Oh, boy.
really early Rosh here. I
They're
believe.
So they Centaur ulted for the Jakiro, and he was also stuck in the arena. So
Yeah,
just get that kill there.
he's as dead as he could possibly
Viper
be.
looking for a little turnaround.
Yeah,
the
Viper
Rosh
is
in the
almost assuredly going to get Centaur here. And Disruptor kind of put himself out there just to die.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a bit of a misplay on Boss's part there. I think the strat there probably would have been to try and go deeper into the trees here. Perhaps worried, huh?
What happens? Gotham will get a free take it back to base.
All right, baby. I think maybe the
Intentional.
idea is Boss was potentially afraid of mines being over here, but wasn't actually the case. That was quite
Very fun one.
quite a crazy matchup, yeah. So far, definitely no regrets on the decision to cast this one. This has been a very, very crazy game so far.
Yep.
And because it got so delayed and all that, we might not have any time between the games and the super special post-match thing happening.
Gotham never disappoints, what can I tell you?
That's true. He's always got that ham.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, just beating the hell out of this tower here. A little far up here. Taking some casual tower shots.
Radiant's
Not
middle
too many.
tower is under attack.
Gotham just wants Lena to know he's around. It's an interesting thing with techies. There's actually not many heroes in the game that give you a psychological advantage from the enemy knowing your presence.
Despite existing, yeah.
See, if techies isn't on the map, your instant thought in the back of the mind is, in your mind is, oh, he's not actually here. And statistically, most of the time, you're going to be right. There's only one man.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there's 3 techies technically, but there's only one place that techies can be at a time, right?
Yep.
But if you see techies just pop out, suddenly come up in your lane, then suddenly your entire thought process is replaced with, okay, where'd he put the mines in? If he's close, if he showed me he's here, there's gotta be
When's
mines.
he
He's
gonna-
trying to bait me.
When's
You
he
know?
gonna casually blow up on me? And
Right,
5 people will be on my head.
right.
Dire's structures
It
are
it's a very mentally taxing sort of hero in that way. Really,
Dire's middle
and I
tower
think that's a
is under
big
attack.
understated part of Dota. You know, we're doing the LD2L here. Here's a thing to L. There's a lot of psych in Dota. There's a lot of psychology in it. We've seen some matches in this tournament so far that were
Radiant's
decided
bottom
by
tower is
psychology.
under attack.
Whether it be, you know, teams falling apart due to just having a complete morale
Dire's
bust,
top
or,
tower is under
you know,
attack.
hesitation, or what have you. We've seen a lot of the mental game being played here so far.
Right.
Radiant
You know,
structures
it's
are
it's
fortified.
omnipresent. It is
Dire's
everywhere.
top tower
And
is under
the
attack.
more you take advantage of it, the more you have some sort of conscious thought into that concept, I think the better off you're
Dire's
generally
top
going to end
tower
up.
has fallen.
We finally verted the
Dire's structures
verted the
are
tradition of starting with that Radiant T1 bot. We've actually got the Dire T1 top this time.
I'll Centaur ulti.
Yep,
Gonna get away from that Ursa. Potentially.
gonna get away from Ursa, but probably not the Darkseer.
Oh boy.
He's
Dire's
juking.
top
Boss is
tower
juking
is
him.
under attack.
Oh yeah, he is.
Boss is
He has a TP,
likely free.
but no.
Yep, goes down very casually here.
He did waste a lot of time doing that.
I'm going
So-
to suspiciously look at this area and go silent for a few seconds, but I promise I'm here and not letting my cat out of this room. Randy, why don't you
Wow.
talk for a minute?
I could talk about Luna getting a scary amount of farm. At a 1.5k over the Ursa. And, alright. Trash Bow will catch out the Jakiro here. Expended macro fire on that. Which is not quite ideal, but
What did I miss?
I missed Trash Bow finding the Jakiro near the Rosh pit.
That's tragic.
And also, Luna's going the no eclipse build.
Alright.
Just leveled it.
Probably in this game, I would
Dire's
say,
middle
not a
tower
bad
is under
idea.
attack.
Not necessarily going to be missing out on Luna too much in the early game fights.
Yep.
And they're definitely going to be looking for a late game
Radiant's
sort of
bottom
play
tower
anyway.
is under attack.
Already is level 13,
Right.
so. You also have
So
to
to
keep in
that
mind how quickly you can get to the eclipse without,
Right.
you know.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, there
is
was no place in this game. I mean, obviously, it always would be most ideal to be able to eclipse in, but there was no place in this game where it was totally necessary, right?
Oh boy,
Oh
the
man,
Ursa.
Ursa just gets shattered. Unfortunately for the Dire, that was mere moments before his Aegis went down. Maybe they're trying to time a perfect Aegis snipe there.
Radiant's
Stidge getting heavily messed up. Luna just beating the hell out of him. He actually takes the first eclipse of the game, though he ends up killing Trash Boat. Or Ursa ends up killing Trash Boat for his trouble. That fight kind of split into two with Luna, Centaur, and Oracle chasing Viper and the Jakiro,
Radiant's top
while
tower is under
Ursa and Techies kind of had their own little fight with Lena and Disruptor, and their fight went really well for them.
Oh yeah.
It's a very, very interesting way to
Radiant's
break
top
that fight
tower is
down.
under attack.
Very interesting way to try and force that fight to happen that way. And again, once again, I think Gotham is doing a really good job playing to the mental strength of Techies there, because orchestrating a fight in that way makes you think, where's the mines, where's the mines, where's the mines, in the back of your mind, and not, you know, process the actual fight you're having.
Yeah. And the Ursa got himself a little, couple kills there, couple nice
Yeah.
kills.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's always what you want to have as Ursa. One of the heroes where it's like, the quality of your fights is going to determine in a lot of ways how your game goes. He's not quite as much of a slave to it as, say, Legion Commander is, but
Yep.
those early fights for Ursa, whether he lives or dies, if he's able to contribute, get some kills at all, right? Those are early
Good
fights for
Luna.
Ursa.
Encroaching on 10k net worth here. Very quickly.
Yeah. Niantic just absolutely shredding every lane he sees. Notably, in the
Radiant's
fight,
bottom tower
he
is under
actually did
attack.
not end up going down.
Yep.
Got a Brigand's Blade, which is never something you want to see on the other guy.
And this camp will give him 10k.
And sweet.
We'll also give Ursa a Golden Suite.
Sure will.
Wish fulfilled.
It is one interesting trade-off with the Darkseer. On one hand, with the Darkseer, your creep equilibrium is always going to be facing the other side of the map. On the other hand, that can actually lead to scenarios like what's been created here to some degree, where, you know, because the farm is always going to be on their side of the map, right? The ways are always going to be there. The enemies actually get a lot of fairly easy farm, and it makes your cores have to go to the jungle a little bit.
They're counter smoking. They're dangerously close to where Luna is.
Yeah, she's gotta. Ursa's getting mad.
Oh,
They found
boy.
her, dude.
Oh yeah.
This is bad, man. This is super bad.
Ooh.
Got the Centaur ult to try and save her to absolutely no avail. Niantic going down.
Bottom tower is under
That is
This-
the smoke you want.
This is the play for Nagaz so far. This is absolutely the play. They're running a very, very smart game with how they're doing this so far. They're playing IQ Dota. And Lena does not want you to look at the enemy jungle.
Eh.
But Gigi says, Pudge also does psychological damage, which is true.
Radiant's bottom
He does,
tower
yeah.
is under attack.
Always have to consider your positioning very uniquely.
Yeah. Yeah, it is another hero that's like that. Also says, this is why bots always win at Dota 2.
Regeneration.
Like OpenAI.
Yeah.
It's true. He did
Darkseer,
win 5v5 against OG, so.
Darkseer and Jakiro a little in deep here. I believe Darkseer is now just going to casually die for his trouble. I don't think he has any way out of that.
Yep.
Lane ends up getting the kill. They're looking to get Jakiro now. They're
Oh,
going to
no.
get him. That glimpse, man.
Okay, good.
One of
That's a
the
good start.
single most valuable skills in the entire game. That's a great example of it in play.
Yep.
No other skill in the game more than likely would have been able to get that well, not disruptor, that Jakiro there. That glimpse,
Radiant's
man.
top tower is under attack.
One of those things you can't argue with. A very
Yep.
big sign to the Nagas that, yeah, sure,
Dire's middle
you're doing
tower
well in
is
these
under
team
attack.
fights so far, but that doesn't mean you can just go anywhere you want.
Radiant's top tower
And
is
Luna's
under
still
attack.
solid 2k
Dire's
net worth
bottom
above
tower
Ursa.
is under attack.
Yep. And growing. The advantage she has is growing every second. She did get knocked out, which is good. More
Dire's
knockouts,
bottom tower
even
has
better.
fallen.
Pretty starved for kills too, although that can very quickly change on a Luna.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 1 and 2 is
Yeah, that
not the
0-1
most
and 2
ideal,
can
but
change to 3-1 and 2, just like that.
yeah. Though on the other hand, there is always that one little X factor here that's that could be putting a stop to that. Old Darkseer, man. You know, he can turn a 3-1 and 2 Luna into a 3-2 and 2 Luna real quick, and he can turn he can add a 1 to the column of everyone else on Luna's team if things go well for him, basically. If the circumstances are there and he uses it the right way. Gotham just harassing people with his mines at this point,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
Just casually took out about 3/4 of Luna's HP.
Yep.
Oh
Where's
man,
the
that
dude? Rosh
Luna move
again.
speed is obscene. They see him.
He is he's in a lot of pain here. But they just can't get it done with the bombs! Techie's
Alright.
completely ruining this entire fight for the Dire. Gets a triple, Darkseer gets a double. It's 5-0, baby.
Okay. That was... Couldn't have rolled that
Mind-blowing
one
good
better.
play. And that was also another great example of the psychological effect coming in. Centaur Warrunner was really excited to get the drop in on that game. You know, he jumped right into the pit. He was ready to rip roaring to go, but everybody else was saying, but
Yes.
what about the mines? What about the mines? Then
And
eventually,
he's not going to be that excited next time.
Darkseer comes in while they're worrying about how they should be positioning themselves for those mines. He gets a vacuum on him. He just makes it it was diabolical, man. It was absolutely
yeah.
diabolical.
That was beautiful.
I just like to state for the record that the prediction that I got of this game, of this series, was going to be Nagaz getting stomped out, but no, this is really going well for them so far. I think this is actually probably their best performance so far, genuinely. Facing this competition has really brought something out of them. Techie's in a little bit of danger down here.
Maybe
I'll
could
make
deny
that a
himself.
lot of bit of danger.
Oh,
Doesn't actually get the deny out in time, and unfortunately for him, Luna gets that kill, gets that streak, gets that gold.
Yep.
Ouch. That is not what you want to see.
Okay, it's definitely a step back in the right direction for Fennec.
Yep.
Money to burn.
Money to burn.
Radiant's middle tower is
Luna
under
just
attack.
casually ratting with illusions here. It's probably going to be something, a sentence that we're going to be hearing a lot over the course of this game. Ah, everybody's really afraid to go up this cliff. There's only one bomb. I think it's two, actually. Or, well, I guess I can tell. Oh no, you can't click and drag over,
And it's about to expire too.
Yep.
Or one of them did. Actually, it's a bit of a stack here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell as a caster, unfortunately, because you can't click and drag to either side of the stack. I wish that would change that. I think you used to be able to do that. Don't know why you can't now.
It's certainly a decent amount there.
Dear Gabe, if you're listening, please, next update.
3 or 4 is what I would guess.
Has to be,
Radiant's
yeah.
bottom tower is under attack.
Got a smoke here. We're gonna get more pain in the jungle here.
Centaur
Warrunner has found what's going on. There's a little bit of a funny chase going on. Darkseer trying hard to make this pain, and pain it is. Luna coming in with the Eclipse, so it's a big Eclipse. But Ursa, he's coming in, he's mad, he still has that Aegis. He dropped ult for the Aegis.
Yep.
He's kind of getting left here. He's kind of getting hung out to dry. His team's only just now starting to come in.
Yep. Viper.
Gets Centaur.
Oh man, he has a shard.
About
Doesn't
to get
matter
Lena,
though.
probably. He's got the false promise on, but it's going to be a hard false. Yep, hard promise for Oracle to keep.
Yep. Alright, bit of a strange one.
Yeah. I think there was a bit of undue unconfidence there. I don't know what the Nagas were waiting for exactly. Because pain is what came to them in the end anyway.
Yep.
Viper's got a DD here. He's actually in a really good position, but he doesn't want to mess with or Luna. He's a little afraid of the follow-up that's going to come, but
Yep.
to be honest with you, it's a little hard to see why. Especially when he's just going to get cut out like this anyway. Did that just purge the double damage off of him? Man, that's mean if it can do that.
Yeah, I think it can.
Man.
Again, I don't know the purge interactions.
Yeah, it seems to change every patch, so, sorry.
Oh boy.
Ask Purge, I'm sure he can tell you. It's his
Yeah.
name after all.
True. Disruptor just walking into bombs everywhere he goes.
Just stepping on Legos. Oracle getting tipped for some reason.
Maybe dodge the damage of it with his W.
Maybe.
Because Disruptor's not missing much HP.
Kiro and Centaur
Or if
just
he
having a little
wasn't.
spat here at top. It's not going to last long because he just got a full pipe, and if Jakiro wants to mess with Centaur at this point, he's got another thing coming to him. Centaur is basically not chasing this just on the idea of mines and backup alone. Now,
Well,
now he has
we'll
that pipe.
chase it
He's
now.
found some confidence.
Radiant's middle tower has
Viper.
fallen.
Viper coming in, but you know, even now, that's all it took to get all of his HP back, basically.
Yep.
Between that pipe and that Vanguard, Centaur heals a lot real quickly.
Certainly does.
And speaking of certainly, this certainly would not be a bad game for a Crimson, because this get a lot of damage he would save. You know, think about the Darkseer illusions, think about the, you know, Viper's base attacks under the bonus damage he does, which, you know, you're not going to get around that, but you have the pipe at least, which can help with that.
Yep. If you're playing the
Good luck
drinking
for you.
game, take a shot every time Anani recommends Crimson Guard.
Dude, I feel like it's pretty rare that you're going to see games where you don't want to have it. I can tell you this much, I don't know if I would do it on Darkseer this game, because you do have a few things to worry about on the lineup. The most important thing is, as usual, Moonglaze do not interact with Crimson Guard, so you want a different source of energy. This is just, that was bait, man.
Oh, yeah, it's sad.
Just have a seat right over there. I'll let the smart people work.
That was the baitest bait I've ever seen. And now Radiant is just all gearing up to push. They're gonna try and take a tower here while the supports are down.
Yep.
Though they are a little scared of Luna. Even with 5v3, they're still a little scared to actually be around here.
Down.
Yeah. It is a support stun, but on the other hand, that's a Disruptor ult down, that's the Oracle ult down. So ultimately they don't actually get anything out of this. You get some vision at least.
Yep, and that Luna Shard's picked up.
It seems like the Dire secret shop is just kind of better than the Radiant secret shop, because this is a lot harder to do in Radiant. Get away with it. Why are there so many goddamn tangos in the ground?
That's life.
Somebody's trying to start an orchard.
Yeah.
Techies is getting really damaged really quick. Actually just goes down pretty much no time flat.
Gets caught out there trying to plant his mines.
I've been asked to check the win probability. Right now it's favoring NWA, though Panic's win probability is slowly increasing.
Yep.
I don't really put much stake in that win probability feature, but you know.
That's personal Gabe prediction of how the game is gonna go.
Yeah, Gabe Newell himself is watching right now.
Every game, they actually have him strapped to a chair, and he has to guess the win probability of every game real time.
They have the little eye drops from the Clockwork Orange, the old chair there. That's why there hasn't been Half-Life 3. It's just been doing that. Centaur gets 2 at the stomp. He's getting everybody he can, just smashing up. Jakiro and the Darkseer. Viper forced to hit BKB and TP.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Never ideal.
Ugh. Darkseer takes out his frustrations on the map.
Yeah. Looking at Rosh. Won't be up in him.
That's one thing that the Dire are going to have from bell to bell in this game. They have some really strong, really quick initiation, and while Radiant
Scotty too.
Well, Radiant are definitely going to be, for a while at least, more equipped to actually have the fight when it breaks out. It doesn't really matter if they've lost 3 before things start.
This is kind of how Lena's power spike works. You know, you get the move speed items first because it can become ridiculous, and then suddenly, you know, you pick up a Scotty, pick up a couple auto attack items, and you're wiping teams.
Right. Picked up a Shadow Blade.
Yep.
Darkseer was really hoping one of those illusions was the real deal, but no such luck.
Sadly. I think he's working up that eggs. Double damage here.
Very unfortunate. It seems like even though Techies has about 1 million mines up there at the top of the river,
they're holding for
never going up there.
Yep.
Bing!
They are spotted there, so they'll be very cautious seeing said DD Ursa.
Yep. Not a bad idea. Ursa, notably, it's not really been in a lot of fights recently.
Yep.
So I don't really know where his power level's at, though. His power level's not really that far beyond what it was last fight.
Yeah. And the net worth disparity has grown since the
what
last
is
time I
this? Is
mentioned
bait? Oh, they had already gotten too many of the mines down, I guess.
Yep.
They got all smoked. They are all smoked, charging right in there. They're all gonna get spotted out by Oracle on the stairs.
Yep.
Darkseer running in. He is in jail. They're putting a lot of the fault in these team fights on the Darkseer. Not hard to see it. Eclipse comes out, gets Techies. and gets the Viper. He has to BKB, but he's already 90% dead. He just has to bag. He's not going to be able to make it. Luna just knocks him out, gets the kill streak. Ursa just wandering around, beating people up. He just can't do the damage anymore, man. He just got him.
Oh man.
And
5 for no the other way, huh? How the tables turned.
oof. And with it, we have one Techie's mine. Ouch.
Yep.
With it, we're gonna get some objectives here for sure.
Oh yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is
Everybody
under
being
attack.
very cautious, making absolute sure we don't have any funny mines anywhere here. Which they don't. They actually don't have
Radiant's
anything in
middle
this entire
tower
area.
is falling.
Desperately
Viper
charging
by that I don't think
right,
he's gonna pop it.
Radiant's middle tower is under
charging
attack.
Maybe
right
we'll-
for this tower here.
Radiant's
They got the
structures
glyph.
are fortified.
Yep.
Dire structures are
Counter
fortified.
glyph.
They do not want this push in, and man, they want to make absolute sure they're getting some
Radiant's
structure
middle
damage down
tower
here.
is falling.
Oh
I do have to note they did not
Radiant's
they do not think these racks are going to be enough of a problem to start buying. They actually kept the buybacks, and they're smoking
yeah.
out.
They waited long enough that it wouldn't necessarily be worth it to buy back. If Viper was gonna buy back there, he had to do it quickly.
Right.
Pretty
Going into Rosh
instantly.
now.
Yep, scanned out so they know what's happening. But can they do something right quick enough? It's a pretty slow Rosh.
Right. And well, the Lena and Luna combination there could do it pretty quickly, but Luna's actually holding herself for when the
Radiant's
retaliation
bottom
happens.
tower is under attack.
They skip town and actually see the Radiant coming
Oh,
for
yeah.
them with this vision down here. Eartha says, "Okay, then I'll do it." Ho 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 ho!
Alright. Oh, Lena's hasted.
Lots of pinging, little time.
They're absolutely
Roar.
going in on this.
I'm probably about to die. No, I'm gonna pop BKB and be fine. But his team sure isn't.
Oh god.
Luna just killing everything that moves up there. Rosh and the Panic at the Rosh Pit all coming together. Panic at the Rosh Pit living up to their names. Another full
Oh, yeah.
team wipe for nothing. This is
And then
getting
we got a
very
triple
bad
from
very
it.
fast.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
Immortality.
Gonna get that eggs.
On
Luna?
Disruptor, uh-oh.
Ooh, disruptor, alright.
Oh, that is a nasty thing.
It is.
One of the things that I was going to say, if Nagaz ended up taking the L on this one, was going to be one thing that could have done them some benefit, I think, though they would have had to sacrifice a bit for it, would be getting a fairly early BKB on Darkseer, because they were able to shut him down so effectively with stuns. Now even that's not an option anymore,
Yep.
because of how that went.
We're just gonna split here.
Yep,
Split
notably not, probably not actually going to get any objectives. And Luke's called a GG.
Alright.
They're done here?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ah,
Alright,
good
okay.
next.
That's interesting. Well, that was a very interesting little scenario there. He just did not want to face the wrath of that late game Luna.
Ah,
Not hard
go
to see
next.
why. Yep.
Can I tell you?
Did not like seeing that Luna get it as farmed as that was. Here's my quick. I'll save my analysis actually for game 2. So if you're waiting for some game 1 analysis, sorry, that'll be next time. Cutting the video here for those in stream. Do not worry, there will be no service interruption.